Event 1 on the track is the Hunter Communications Super Sedan Division 2. Car 30 is Neil Hearn and car 62 Tom Wright. They have the privilege of the front row of the grid. Nick Hearn in car number 10. Now we've got two number 10s on the track. We'll try and check out the other number 10 for you, but a big welcome to Nick Hearn. Nick comes all the way from Lightning Ridge in New South Wales. I hope he doesn't have to drive underground like everybody else lives. But we come into main straight away and we give them a green flag to go racing on Hunter Communications night. And Tom Wright is the race leader. Now the car number 30 of Neil Hearn has just dropped right back into the lap of Nick Keane, the Lightning Ridge driver, and he had a really nasty welcome to the Newcastle Motordrome. But Tom Wright leads the race. Now Ken Murray is piloting the car number 43 tonight, and he moves up into second place in the Corvette. Craig Davis runs third in car 50, and there's the Lightning Ridge driver Nick Keane getting through to take up fourth placing.
But out in front, Tom Wright in car 62. He's decided to skip away from the rest of the field. Second spot giving chase to 43, and that's Ken Murray. But on the inside now, Davis had a look up underneath. Oh, two got tangled up. That was Smallman in the 57 and Gary Curran in car 7. And the red flag comes out and will bring the race to a stoppage with a bit of an incident along back straightaway involving the 57 car of Steve Smallman and also the 7 of Gary Curran. They both came together and spun out onto the infield. We'll wait to see what decision the Chief Steward will make.
Stand by for the restart.
Lights flash, now they get the green as they come through, and Craig Davis was quick to move on the inside. So too was Keane in car number 10, and Davis now has got the high line looking for the drive high on the track, but that's allowed the 10 of Keane to come through on the inside. Good driving, and he's picked up that second spot ahead of Craig Davis. He might even go the lead. Through on the inside, Keane's the new race leader. Well, good on him too, because he's worked hard to get up into that race lead, and now he's out in front and he's starting to pull away. He's got a nice tidy line too, very impressive. Is Keane in car number 10. He's making his first drive here a very rememberable one. Out in front, second spot is Davis in car 50. Then comes the 62 of Tom Wright, followed by the 33 of Brad Wagner back in fourth spot. But out in front, it's all Keane in car number 10.
Well, what an impressive start to the night. I don't know whether they run mufflers out at Lightning Ridge or not. I guess they don't have to have them in the Opal paddocks out there. But we won't bother too much about the noise because Nick Keane won't bother much about it either. And the Lightning Ridge driver, Nick Keane, has just one more lap left to go to notch up victory at the Motordrome. Then the 50 of Craig Davis, followed by 33 Brad Wagner, who's worked up the third and driven quite consistently. Having a bit of troubles, Tom Wright, he's dropping back through the pack. But here's the checkered flag, and welcome to the Newcastle Motordrome. Nick Keane from Lightning Ridge, well done. The 50, Craig Davis comes in second, then Brad Wagner third. Barry Lee got through for fourth. Jansen was fifth. Gary Curran, the Wagga driver, was sixth. Then came Hearn, followed by Smallman and Murray. Well, no time taken on the race because of the stoppage, but that's a very, very good start to Nick Keane in the Lightning Ridge Camaro. This is round 2 tonight of the Beechwood Homes Top Gun Series. 8 laps. Drivers trying to qualify for Stars Dashes and feature race later on to score points in the series. There's the green flag to send the superstars away, and the New South Wales champ John Pine goes to an early lead. Stu Robertson tucks right in behind him. Neil Wasson got through quickly to hold down third place, and the current Australian champ Ron Pine is fourth. Back in the pack, Alan Baker looking to try and make some room for himself. John Lodge came through on the inside. Baker's going to fall in behind him. John Brown goes by 2 cars, and the 2 cars he passed. Oh, driver in trouble. John Lodge up on the infield, and it is play on. John Pine, the race leader. Stu Robertson running second, but he is under pressure from Neil Wasson. Ron Pine is running fourth. Alan Baker is fifth. John Brown is sixth. Then Robert Carey and Robert Burke. And John Lodge will come back onto the racetrack. He will be one lap down, but he's still back in there because to get to the checkered flag means you earn points. John Pine absolutely racing away from them. He's opened up a big break from Robertson, but Baker's making some inroads on Ron Pine.
Yes, Alan Baker having a shot on the inside, and he got him too. A little bit of a touch with Ron Pine, but he came through on the inside. Pine seemed to drift. Baker cops a caution flag, but he got through up in the fourth spot. And that's good driving by Baker, and Ron Pine now drops back to fifth placing. Only 3 to go, and it's John Pine out in front. Second spot, Stu Robertson in car number 4. Then Neil Wasson driving very strongly in this heat. He's in third spot, followed by Baker. Then comes Ron Pine, now starting to come under pressure from John Brown and carried back near the tail of the field. Oh, there's Stu Robertson in trouble as they come down with only 1.5 to go.
Yeah, John Pine, what an impressive start to the night. If we thought that Nick Keane had a great start to the night on a track he doesn't know, here's a guy on a track who knows everything about it, knows every blade of grass like Wally Lewis does at Lang Park. John Pine down the back straight away, leads by half a lap from the second car, Stu Robertson. Then Neil Wasson followed by Alan Baker. But what a start to the New South Wales champ, John Pine. Here's mud in your eye. Stu Robertson's going to come home in second place. Neil Wasson third. Strong finish by Alan Baker for fourth. John Brown a very strong finish for fifth. Ron Pine was sixth. Robert Carrick seventh. Robert Burke was eighth. And John Lodge came back in last place. 2 minutes 7.976, the official time, making it a great start to the night for the New South Wales champion, John Pine. The yellow lights flash, set for a start. Racing this time. Oh, Jensen tried to poke up on the inside but couldn't quite get through. Barry Lee lost it, drifted out on the track. Curran gave it a bootful, so too did Barry Lee. And when he gave it a bootful, he went straight onto the infield of the track. Bad luck for Barry, overcorrected. Coming into maiden straight away, Gary Curran grabs the lead. Steve Smallman moves into second. Jensen is third. Now here's the Lightning Ridge driver, Nick Keane. Gee, that car handles well. Handles superbly. Tucks it in tight and low and saves a lot of ground on the rest of the pack who swish and wash all over the place, just like Gary Curran's doing up front at this stage. Track is a little bit greasy, admittedly, but Nick Keane handling it well in fourth place. Race leader, Gary Curran from Wagga.
Yes, Curran starting to stretch away from the rest of the field. On the inside now comes Jansen in car number 10 to go grab that second spot away from the 57 of Smallman, and Keane in the other car number 10, the black car 10, is holding down fourth spot, looking to come on the inside of Smallman, and Smallman nearly got a touch with the 10 of Jansen, who's all over the track. He's starting to stack them right up. Now Keane switches to the outside line to try and go around, and it's fine. The caution flag might come out here to someone. Curran leads away. Jansen's the one who cops the caution in second spot. Now Keane gets through into third spot. He's out after Jansen. Smallman went very wide in turn 1-2, but with only 3 to go, the race leader is Curran in car number 7.
Well, as we predicted, it's probably the southern end of the state this time. We've got them from all corners of New South Wales, and the Wagga driver Gary Curran setting up an advantage of a good 110 metres. Coming into main straight away, he'll have only 2 laps to negotiate to take the checkered flag in this, the second race for the Division 2 drivers. Jansen is in second place. Nick Keane from Lightning Ridge running third. Then Steve Smallman, Craig Davis, Brad Wagner, Barry Lee's dropped right back. Then Ken Murray, followed by Neil Hearn. Into main straight away, 1 more lap to go, and Gary Curran setting a fast pace. Jansen staying to handle things a little better in the yellow car number 10, and then Nick Keane in the black car number 10. He's holding down third, but here comes the checkered flag. Here's the race winner for French Brothers Tyres. The checker goes to Gary Curran. Second place goes to Jansen. Third place goes to Nick Keane. He started the night very well. Fourth place going to Smallman. Then came Craig Davis, followed by Brad Wagner. Neil Hearn was next. and then the number 8 car of Barry Lee and the 43 car of Ken Murray will come around, and he'll complete the race in a time of 2 minutes 24.052 for the race winner, Gary Curran from Wagga. On their way for the Tetron Engineering Super Sedan race number 2 for the Division 1 drivers. Have a look towards the middle of the pack. Ron Pine, the current Australian champ, trying to dive up on the inside of John Lodge. Alan Baker in the white car, number 51, has powered his way through to second. Following him through is John Lodge through to third. Ron Pine, here comes John Pine, the pair of number 1s. And look at John Pine. He's virtually pushing Ron Pine through the gap. Oh, he got through on the inside of both John Lodge and Ron Pine. What a super piece of driving. And John Pine, who's virtually come from the rear of the field, I thought he pulled off a super pass there. Those two drivers seem to be locked up and out of control, and John Pine went straight through on the inside, but he's going to cop a caution for it. And he's got through on the inside of Alan Baker, and he's going to get a caution. Well, I don't know why. John Pine has pulled some superb driving. Oh, gee whiz, he's absolutely on fire tonight, Piney. Look out, John Brown. Here comes New South Wales number 1.
Oh, only one more to go, and geez, it looks like it's on rails right through the inside. Well, you've got to take your hat off to John Pine. This has been an absolutely phenomenal race. There's still 4 laps to go, and he's come from the dead last to grab the race lead. This is a huge effort. John Pine is on fire tonight. He's out in front. Second spot is John Brown. Then comes Alan Baker back in third spot. And then a whole bunch of drivers. Ron Pine's all over the place. Right behind him, Robert Carrick's trying to come through. Stewie Robertson trying to muscle his way through as well in car number 4. But up the front of the race with only 2 laps to go. John Pine's got him shot to pieces. Second place, John Brown. Then comes Alan Baker, but the interest is on the battle for those minors back, headed by Ron Pine.
Yeah, and Ron Pine seems to be having some trouble, whether he's got brake problems or steering problems, not sure. But dropping right off the race leader, John Pine, he's just controlling the race. Now, he got past them. I won't say easily. I mean, it looked very easy, but wowee. Ladies and gentlemen, are we looking at maybe the Australian champion, John Pine? There's trouble down in turn 2, but they've got the checker. John Pine, John Brown, Alan Baker. Now, Ron Pine goes to the rear of the field because he caused this incident over here in turn 2. So we would have had John Lodge next, and then Neil Wasson, followed by Robert Carrick, Stewie Robertson, and Robert Burke, and Ron Pine at the rear. Balking in the corners was the official instruction from the chief steward. But ladies and gentlemen, what an impressive drive by this man, the New South Wales champion, John Pine. So coming into main straight away, looking set for a start. And they're away. Again, Gary Curran on the outside. He's going to be pushed along by the Australian champ, Ron Pine. Round the outside goes Pine. A little bit of a mix-up between John Lodge and Nick Keane as they came out of turn 2. Wagner's up on the windrow coming out of turn 4, and that's allowed Ron Pine to get around the outside and grab second placing. The Wagga driver, Gary Curran, is in the lead. The Australian champ, Ron Pine, back in the B main. He will not like being in the B main, and keep an eye on him as he comes charging up on the inside of Curran. Now he gets him. Ron Pine goes to the lead. Curran goes back to second. Then comes Brad Wagner, followed by John Lodge. Nick Keane still doing very well, the Lightning Ridge driver, trying to get up on the inside of one of our top guns, and that's John Lodge. So he's really, Ron Pine in trouble again. This car is not handling for him at all. Something's going wrong with it. I don't know whether it's the way Ron's driving it or whether it's a problem that he's got. It's going through turn 1, 2 okay, but it doesn't look to be handling 3, 4 very well.
Well, it's pretty well been Ron Pine's style all along. He backs right off into the turns to set himself. There goes Lodge. He got the tap. Yeah, it definitely got the tap lodged by the 10, the Lightning Ridge driver of Keane. I think you might find will be the man that's deemed to have caused that one. Coming out of turn 3, 4. Lodge just got the tail out a little bit, but it was Keane that got the nudge and put him right around. But
6 laps left to go in the restart to the Cardiff Paint Super Sedan B main. Solid yellow light at the moment indicates that there is no start possible. The cars are in single file. John Lodge will be happy that he's been able to slot back into 4th place. Nick Keane will be very unhappy that he's had to go to the rear of the field. His first blemish for the night. Now a start looks like it might be on. And it is. Oh, trouble back in the pack where Jansen and Barry Lee and Craig Davis all got caught up in some sort of a backwash. Fortunately, all the cars have been able to continue, but they've dropped themselves right off the pace, which is being set by the Australian champ. He will not be very happy that he's had to face a B main tonight. And Ron Pine in the new Pontiac. Oh, he's in trouble again, Ron Pine. He's got the tail all over the place and crashes into the front of Gary Curran. Oh, there's something wrong with the car. There is something wrong with the car.
And down here in main straightaway, the 50 of Davis was involved. And he's not looking too healthy, the car.
Should be set for a restart. 5 laps remain in the B main. There's the restart. Now John Lodge raced straight out in front, and I would think that bar some mishap, and we've had plenty of those so far in the race, he should take it out. There he goes high up onto the track, but he's far enough in front and has enough power to keep it all together. And John Lodge comes in main straight away 4 to go, the race leader. Brad Wagner is second. Or Jansen got a bit of a tap from Barry Lee as he tries to work his way into 3rd place. Robert Burke from the back of the pack. He's worked his way up to 4th. Nick Keane got into trouble behind Barry Lee. He was unfairly hampered, and that's why the red lights come on. And Barry Lee was the driver who got into trouble. He hampered Robert Burke, who managed to get by without any problem, but the Lightning Ridge driver, Nick Keane, couldn't get by. He got balked by Barry Lee up onto the infield.
Round number 2, we're looking ready for a restart though. Lodge will come under pressure from Wagner and also Jansen. Burke's done well to get up there as well. They get the green flag and the restart, and away they go into the first turn this time, and they get through A-OK unscathed. There's Jansen getting a little bit sideways and balked Burke, but he managed to back off and avoid any incident. Down they come with only 3 to go, and the black flag will come out to Barry Lee, car number 8. He grabs the black flag. He's been all over the place in this race, and I think it was for jumping the start, but he's copped the black flag and take no further part. John Lodge has only got 2.5 to run in our Super Sedan B main.
He's up very high on the track. He's going to clip the concrete wall, and Brad Wagner was able to come through on the inside. Well, John Lodge, uncharacteristic of him making a mistake. He got up high on the track. Brad Wagner was able to come through with no trouble at all. And here comes the Lightning Ridge boy, the lightning bolt from nowhere. Through on the inside, he's grabbed 3rd place, Nick Keane. Now we've got another red light on. What is going on here? Race is declared. So we've got Brad Wagner with John Lodge. I think that the yellow 10 of Jansen will finish in front of the black 10 of Nick Keane because it'll go back a lap. Robert Burke is up there. Then the 50 of Craig Davis. Now the 57 car of Smallman to the rear of the field. Then we'd have the 30 of Hearn, 43 of Murray, and the 88 of Starling, with 57 at the rear, Steve Smallman. Gee, the Super Sedans for the B main, what a problem they were having. Top field of cars. Inverted 10s. We've got John Pine and Alan Baker starting in positions 9 and 10. Baker out of 9, Pine out of 10. 20 laps. Getting set. And racing. Brad Wagner leads the charge as they go into the first corner, all taking it fairly steadily so that there's no problems early in the race. And the Lightning Ridge driver, Nick Keane, he is keen to get to the lead and has done so. John Lodge followed him through. So, Keane's in trouble right in front of them. Wagner clipped the back end of him, and that's really balked the field badly. And the Lightning Ridge driver got his nose in front, then gave it too much of a bootful coming out of turn 4, lost it, back end got out, and the adjudication is a complete restart, and car number 10, the Lightning Ridge car number 10, will go to the rear of the field. Now John Lodge looks like he's got troubles with the 21 car. Yellow lights flash. And there's the restart to our Beechwood Homes Super Sedan Top Gun Series Round 2. Let's see if we can get the first lap bedded down. Again, they take it fairly easily out of turn 2. Alan Baker's not, though. He's going right round the outside of the lot of them. He wants to get right up there early on, and he's moved up into 5th place, and there's an absolute charge of cars squeezed together going through turn 1, 2. Look at them, bumper to bumper, door handle to door handle as they come out of turn 2. Baker on the outside, John Pine on the inside. Terrific racing as they come through the slower cars. John Pine goes through to 4th place, behind Robert Burke in 3rd. Alan Baker's going to stay right with Pine and chase him all the way, I would reckon. But John Pine looking to get that early advantage in the early laps of the race. Jacob Jansen from Canberra, the leader. Stu Robertson's worked up into 2nd. He might be a hard man to get by. John Pine runs 3rd. Robert Burke from the South Coast is 4th. Oh, John Brown into a little bit of trouble too down back straight away. He's all over the shop. Coming down main straight away, it's the race leader Jacob Jansen from Stu Robertson, John Pine and Alan Baker, and Robert Burke holding on to 5th place. Now Stu Robertson's starting to find his legs, and he's looking to fight for the race lead as they come into main straight.
Yes, Robertson's actually getting pushed along by John Pine. Pine coming through. Now on the inside comes Stewie Robbo. He comes through on the inside of Jansen to take the race lead, and so too does Pine. Well, that's what Robertson didn't want. He didn't want Pine to track through. He's trying to put a slower car between himself, well, not a slower car, but a car between himself and John Pine. Now Baker gets up into 3rd spot. Baker now is pressing up towards these top 2 drive. This is going to settle down to be a great race. There's 13 and a half to go. Stu Robertson's got the race lead, but John Pine, he's sitting very, very ominously in 2nd spot. He's not pushing the car. He's just sitting, waiting for the mistake. And he's driven superbly all night so far, and he's in 2nd spot ahead of Alan Baker. Jansen holding on. The car is going all over the shop there for him, and behind him the AC2 driver Burke is holding down 5th spot. But out in front, Stu Robbo's being hounded now by Piney up on the inside. Now here comes where the slower cars, they're going to come right into play.
Well, here is the moment of John Pine chasing Stu Robertson, and as we've pointed out, up to the slower cars. Robertson just managed to flick out in time there. I think he almost got caught by the fact that he was coming up to the slower vehicles. John Pine absolutely hounding him as they go through traffic. Neil Wasson's in trouble down here in John Pine got Robertson, and he'll have to go back. Oh, well. Pine got the jump on Robertson. Robertson may have seen Neil Wasson in trouble, and he may have lifted up high, and as soon as he lifted up high, Pine dived, but it'll be too late. We'll go back a lap, and it'll be still Stu Robertson in the lead from John Pine. And it'll be a single file restart, 10 laps remaining.
Well, Ross, John Pine, he's got to be close to the Peter Brock of the wins Newcastle Motordrome.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Just so talented driver out there tonight too, and he's really turned it on. I haven't seen him in this sort of mood for a long time at the Speedway. And
I guess it's like all sportsmen, Joel. You get a night that clicks, and he might be just having that night. He obviously feels good within himself. The car is running superbly, so he's just on a it's all happening sort of night, and it's happening for him tonight. Yellow light is flashing. Set for the restart. Robertson decides that he's going to keep control of that restart and keep it down tight and low. He knows that Pine is absolutely hounding away at the back of him. Couple of little taps and bumps, but that's only racing incident. He's not throwing Robertson offline, and Robertson's going to make sure that he sits down very tight and very low. Pine will have to try and make an outside pass unless Robertson makes a mistake. Alan Baker's just going to wait. He's going to play the cagey game. He thinks that if these two make a mistake in front of him, he's going to be set and ready to pounce. Oh, John Pine got a little untidy coming out of turn 4. That's the first hint of a mistake from him, and maybe the heat's a little too hot in the kitchen. We've got a red light on. I missed the incident altogether. And it looks like there's parts of a car spread out all over the track. Might even be a tail shaft, our officials telling us. There's pieces of it here in the exit to turn 4 and about halfway down Main Straightaway. Coming out of the Canberra car, number 5 of Robert Burke. If any one of those pieces flies up, and certainly cause a real problem, which is why officials stopped racing. The officials have said we're ready to go racing. And the green sends them on their way. 9 more laps at the Motordrome to go. Stu Robertson, John Pine and Alan Baker. Well, these stop-starts sometimes don't suit drivers. Other drivers try to take advantage of the opportunity. And coming down Main Straightaway, Stu Robertson's got the lead. John Pine is climbing all over the back end of him. Then Alan Baker, followed by John Brown, Robert Carrick, and then the Wagga driver Gary Curran has got himself up into point-scoring position. Down Main Straightaway, we're going to keep our eye on the top 3. John Pine trying to cut corners. He's getting a little desperate, I think. Frustration's starting to creep in because Stu Robertson is just keeping it down, tight and low, and he knows that if he does that, Pine will have to try and make an outside pass. Robertson leads from Pine and Baker. They're running nose to tail all the way. Here's the chance for Pine. Nosed his way up on the inside. Robertson came back, and there's Baker. Baker's just waiting to pounce, and if they make a mistake, Baker will be there to nail both of them. Robertson, Pine, Baker, they're running 1, 2 and 3 as they head down Main Straightaway into the last few laps of our Beechwood Homes Top Gun Series, round number 2. And Stu Robertson leads from John Pine. Alan Baker, what's going to happen in these last couple of laps? They're only 4 more laps away from home.
Can Stewie hang on? He's done a tremendous job so far. He's holding onto the race lead, but look at Pine hounding him, hassling him all race, waiting for the mistake. But Robertson, he's driven a nice tidy line. The red lights come on. Well, 3 laps from the end. We've got a race stoppage over in back straightaway, and I think it involves the Wagga driver Curran in car 7 and also the 16 of Robert Carrick. Well, it hasn't been too much luck for Curran tonight in car 7. He got wiped out earlier on, and now he's involved in an incident with Robert Carrick, who's had a lot of trouble with that car tonight. But they've brought the race to a stoppage with 4 laps to go. It's come down to a dash. Stu Robertson doing a great job to hang on to the race lead. Good news for Curran, he rejoins the race. He was doing fairly well too, I think, up in about 6th spot. So he'll rejoin the field. But The lights start to flash, ready for the restart. 4 laps to go in our round 2 of the Beechwood Homes Top Gun Series. Look out for the restart, and away they go. Pine switch to the outside immediately. He's going to try and make a dive on the inside of Stu Robbo. Oh, Stu Robbo backed off though, and that allowed Pine to start to stack them up. Oh, through on the inside came Brownie. Brownie got a split on the inside of Baker, and he's grabbed that 3rd spot away. Then comes Baker, followed by the Curran in car number 7, and getting up on the inside, Keane in the 10. But look at it back up front. It's Robertson and Pine. They start to have this battle once again. There's Robertson drifted up a little bit, but now he tucks it back down nice and low. And Pine trying everything he can to get around him, but he just can't get him. Frustration starting to creep in, and John Brown starting to join in the race. He might get up on the inside of Pine. No, Pine shuts him off. There's only going to be one to go from here. Stu Robbo's going to hold on. Can he hold on? I hope so, because he really deserves this race win if he can grab the checkered flag. Brown being put under pressure for 2nd spot. Pine realises he's only got one last chance to have a crack on the outside. On the inside, Stu Robbo. Good drive, Stu Robertson. He's going to take the checkered flag. 2nd spot goes to Pine. Then comes the 6 of Brown. A good drive ahead of the 51 of Baker. Then came Lee. Curran in car number 7 was next across the line ahead of the 10 of Keane. Then came the 88 of Starling, followed by the 16 of Robert Carrick, with Neil Wasson in car 14 running into trouble in the final turn. But a superb effort by Stu Robertson. And Alan Baker not too happy. But how about a round of applause for Stu Robertson? He really deserves a race win. Good on you, Stewie. Well done.